Bom dia, everybody.
Bom dia.
Boa tarde.
We have an exciting podcast today, don't we?
Well, there's a couple of exciting things. First, of course, are our guests who are repeat guests. And they were one of our first guests, right?
Yes, they really were.
And then we're doing like the video format. This is like the first time we've had 4.
Right, but we're not recording video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
Damn it, Angela, I did not put my face on.
Yeah.
Oh, we were such an ugly comedian.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a good thing you got your hair done, Maria.
Brian's like,
Oh my
I literally
God.
just
Oh
Hey.
my.
Hey, listen. The good thing about this whole shelter in place, we get to see what everybody really looks like.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Your true colors, Maria. We see it.
Yes.
Masks off, y'all.
I see you.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
I haven't worn makeup in 3 months. It feels pretty good, I gotta say. I know that sounds
Liberating.
funny. That sounds funny, but I do play a woman in quite a few roles. So
And
yeah.
you do look like a beautiful woman, let me tell you.
thank you, Maria. Honestly, not for nothing, I have been told that quite a few times. I'm like, you make a good-looking woman. I'm like, thanks.
Thanks.
Beard and everything. I mean,
No. Only when I shave. When I don't shave, they're like, you make a really authentic Portuguese woman. But
Hey!
stop it.
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
it. I'm allowed
Did
to
I
say
tell you?
that.
Well, for those that are already watching, you know who those guests are that we have on. You should, their faces, you should absolutely know who we're talking about. And that is the dynamic duo of Brian Martins and Derek DeMello of the Portuguese.
I thought you were going to merge our names like Bredick.
I was.
Reddick.
Brett, I like that.
Dryin.
Sounds like
Brett is better.
a
is better.
movie. A movie title, Dreddick.
As Maria says that you recognize their face, I looked into the camera and I realized, wow, ito siya. Like, ito bem criollo.
Oh, e também.
COVID-19 is going to be like that new, like, they say freshman 15? This is going to be the COVID-19.
Yes.
I've gained about 19 pounds.
Yeah, I was going to say COVID-20. That's
Yeah,
it.
the COVID-20,
Yeah.
dude.
Sure.
COVID-20.
Crazy, man.
You said it. You
Freaking
said it.
For sure.
My mom came by. She did the Portuguese mom drive-by with food, right? So
Oh, yeah?
she's on the porch. And she keeps, I'm still staying on my diet, low carb, blah, blah, blah. But a full thing of batatas. I'm like, Mom, she's like, well, you're not performing. Nobody cares if you're fat or skinny. Just eat the carbs. Go ahead. What are you doing?
That's my motto every morning, Brian. I wake up and I'm like, you know what? You ain't got nowhere to go. Let's do it. Boulette, breakfast.
It's really crazy how things have really changed, but some things have stayed the same. They've only kind of magnified. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel I think like a lot of revelations came about. I think a lot of people realized there's certain things we don't need and certain things we took for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So I've learned I think we've all learned a little bit of that, like teachers, right? Like, damn,
Oh,
dude,
my God.
please come back to
They
come back.
deserve every penny.
$1 million. Got it. Give it to them.
Yes.
Whatever they want.
If I'd ever once considered homeschooling, never.
That died.
We'll
That
never
died.
ever
Yep.
do that again. No.
Never.
Like,
Never.
for real.
Actually, it's funny. I had flashbacks to. So my mom is a teacher. She taught 3rd grade for like 45 years, right?
No way.
And,
Wow.
Yeah. And so she was one of those teachers. The students come back and, oh, we loved your class, but she's also like super, super strict, right? And so, but as a kid with a teacher as a parent, like I remember her kind of getting frustrated with me sometimes, like if I wasn't getting something or whatever, and when like sitting here working with Aurelia, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm channeling my mother.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Like, I get it now. Like, I get the frustration of like, why can't you focus? Like every 30 seconds, do this, do that.
I know.
Oh my God.
The pencil has to be a certain
Yeah.
sharpness.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now.
My
I'm
daughter's
cold. I got to get a blanket.
Yeah. My daughter's math. She's got math right now with like angles. We're working on angles and figuring out degrees and stuff like
Okay.
that. I'm just looking at it. I was like, Daddy, how do I do this? And I'm just looking. She's like, Dad, are you sweating? I'm like, oh my God. She senses my fear.
Dad, why are you using Google? I'm allowed to.
Uh-huh.
Your teacher's
You're not.
lied.
You're
You will be
not.
using that. Oh, look at this backup, Angela.
Thank you. Meanwhile, it's like 96 degrees here. I don't really need to bike it, but that's okay. Thank
He's
you.
like, I'm sorry
Thank
about
you.
the math homework, Mom. Here you go.
They hear it all. They hear it all.
So talking about hearing it all. So I don't know about you guys, but I mean, so we have a tiny house, and so there's really no privacy like anywhere, right? So my husband's in that office, but I'm in the kitchen and she's over there. But no matter where you are, you hear everything, right? So if we're doing something like this and I'm talking about her, or I'm having a conversation with anybody, everybody hears everything.
Yep.
Or there's no secrets.
Nothing.
Anywhere. It's pretty funny, yeah. So then, like, she'll come out with something that we've been talking about. I'm like, shit, that's right.
Hey, your husband just walked by. Tell him I said hello.
Everybody says hi, honey.
Everybody say what?
Have you heard that? Yeah, I think the last was it the last one we did, Maria? I was actually on the other side of the table. No, it was with you guys, or I don't know which one. And Relia came around the side.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of snuck into the corner.
It was the Palicus one, I believe. If I'm not
That's
mistaken.
right. That's right. So tell us about you guys have now become
Oh, look at
so tell us when you guys started the shopportuguese.com, because I don't think when we first talked to you, you had that. And now not only with the, growing the business, but now with COVID and everybody being at home. I mean, Derek, you were saying, you're like, yeah, no, we just sell linguiça. We don't do comedy anymore. We sell linguiça and masa.
I tell that to Michaels. I'm like, I went from being a comedian to a linguiça salesman, man, real quick,
Yeah, I think when we first started Shop Portuguese wasn't really where it is right now, because we were.
It did exist.
It did exist.
But
it was more of our merchandise more than it was home goods. Like we were like trying to push the home good stuff, but our energy was so spread because we were traveling, we're creating, we're trying to get a store going. Like our energy was everywhere. But I'll tell you, when COVID unfortunately hit and we stopped traveling, stopped doing shows, although we are still creating online, a lot more of our energy went into Shop Portuguese, and it just has really, I think in the last month or two, has really been steamrolling and really showing people like, hey, we have stuff besides t-shirts here. We got foods, we're selling like, frozen foods, all Portuguese, like Derek was saying, linguiça, chorizo. We even sell chicken chorizo and chicken linguiça.
No.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
I didn't know that existed, but okay.
For those of us that don't want to dine on swine, you can enjoy chorizo.
Instead, you're picking the chicken, huh?
Exactly.
Picking the chicken. Dine on swine, picking the chicken. That's good, man. Dine on swine.
The other white, pork is the other white meat. So this is the original white meat.
Right.
I haven't even tried it. I want to bring some home to check it out. Because we just picked up masala and Brian and I, blood pudding and all that good stuff, blood sausage.
Yummy.
And we carry it from Michael's, and they actually make theirs from cow's blood. And we were like, whoa, I never even knew that existed. So Brian and I, we both bought them home. I had them deep fried. They were amazing. Not just because we carry them, but they were really, really, really good.
Yep.
I mean, of course, the best marsala we all know is in San Miguel.
Hands down.
And only because it's married alongside a pineapple grown in San Miguel. I mean, it's a thing. It's
Hi.
A thing. Hi.
Hey, sweetie. I don't know if she can hear us.
You're part of a podcast right now.
I know. She's
like, whatever.
Okay.
It's like nothing.
Yeah. She has her own channel,
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect time to be creative.
Uh-huh.
I know.
Yeah,
But
the
Go ahead,
shop
Eric.
Portuguese thing did it was kind of like the perfect storm is us being able to focus on it, and then also people just being home, not wanting to leave the house, and could find this convenience of shopping online. I mean, everybody that's a winner in this situation deals with online. Like any online retailer is looking like,
They're doing well.
pretty good, like
Right.
Amazon, Jeff Bezos on a way to become a trillionaire,
Yeah.
So you know what that means. Brian and I were on the way to be hundredaires, but we'll take it.
Can't wait.
Congratulations.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Take it. No, but it's been wild to see people like what sells, what doesn't, and the food items. Like our importer, he's young like us. Like he's basically working with his dad. His dad started it all these years ago, and he's just like, hey, I'm gonna try this new product. I got this new thing coming in from Portugal, and I love that because our fans, not just our fans, the Portuguese kids fans, like, we've got a whole slew of customers that don't even know who the Portuguese kids are, and
Mhm.
that's okay with us. That's okay with us because
But they still just found your site and they're ordering.
the mission of
Yeah.
the site
Right.
is
That's
is not to be a Portuguese kids thing. It is owned by the Portuguese kids. It says Shop Portuguese by the Portuguese kids. We're proud of that, but at the same time, like we'll take anyone's business, especially
Right.
if it means that we get to spread the love of Portuguese food. And you would be
Right.
surprised how many non-Portuguese people that we've got shopping for stuff like pastéis nata. Like they'll go to Portugal, because
Mhm,
Portugal is just
mhm.
this new hot destination. Everyone's visiting now. And they've got definitely regular names, and they'll even email us like, I just got back from Portugal and I want pastel nata. Like I'm literally craving it, and nowhere around that has it. And we sell them frozen, so like they'll buy a couple dozen. So it's really a bunch of things just happening all at once. Like Portugal is just hot right now, right? Portuguese wine is hot. Portuguese food is in. And of course, Azores in Portugal as a destination, it's like everything's
Right.
Well,
Well,
pretty good.
unfortunately now with COVID, everything's just virtual tours. So
Right.
you really can't
Right.
at the moment.
All we got now is memories for now.
Yeah.
But even the decor. So I had someone send me a message on Facebook yesterday and said, "Do you know where I can get Portuguese tiles?" And I said, "Well, I mean, what do you want to use it for? Is it like a kitchen thing?" And she said, "Well, I don't know. It's for a friend of mine. She's not Portuguese, but she and her husband went to Porto and they loved it, and so she wants to do make a gift for him." And I was like, okay, well, and I sent her to a site because getting Portuguese tiles, I think, is actually like authentic ones. I think is really hard. So there's actually a company out here, or a woman out here that has her own. She makes like modern designed tiles. Azaleisha, I think, is the name.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I sent her there because she'll be able to get that much easier. And then I was like, but you can buy Azaleisha stickers on Amazon if you want to just like make a border on your wall or something like that.
Right.
So even like the decor stuff, people love that,
People
and
love the
they aren't Portuguese. Yeah. Mhm.
I mean, even like the Galo Barcelos, we've carried that forever, and it's still like a happening item.
Yeah.
People just
why? Because it's a great little souvenir. So like both my husband and I have taken Galo Barcelos to all of our coworkers before.
Right.
Like you buy like 30 of them and you hand them out. So it's a great little.
They make great housewarming gifts too, because they bring good luck. So it's a great gift to give to somebody that moving in together or whatever. Hint, hint. I mean, could I get any more obvious? ShopPortuguese.com.
And then you just have people that have them all over their homes. Maria Lawton.
I'm like, Maria.
This is true. This is
Sell a
true.
shower curtain? It's too much. No, I'm just kidding.
I have now my husband. If I bring one in, I have to take one out. That's
Wow.
How can you
Give
get
and
rid of
take.
a Galo?
Isn't
that like a get? Oh,
I give it. Yeah, that's what I end up doing. And then I end up giving it. Yeah, it's good luck. And every time you get it, the thing of the Galo, the whole tradition is it has to be received. You have to receive it as a gift. They're giving good luck that way. If you buy it for yourself, it doesn't work that way. It's supposed to be.
So that's been our problem the whole time.
Someone has to give it to you.
We've bought all of our Galos.
There you go.
Our Galos aren't working.
Nope.
All the ones on our windowsill are not
To
working.
anyone listening to what Maria just said, that does not apply to shopportuguese.com.
Yeah. I don't know about your galls. Our galls are blessed by Barcelo. Nice.
So the thing is people need to buy them, but they need to buy them and give them as gifts.
As a gift.
Okay.
That's
something.
key.
So, and
That's
there's a
the
loophole,
key.
Maria, because buying a gift for yourself is a thing. So,
Well, you know what?
It is a thing.
After you have that one gift of the gallo, you can buy as many as after that.
there you go.
That
Now we're
is
talking.
That's a stipulation.
Those
Oh,
are my
okay.
motto.
As long as you get
Got it.
one.
Got
as
it.
long as you get one.
Well, I'm going to put it out there. Whoever wants to send me a gallo as a gift, I will gladly take the luck. Thank you.
Thank
Gladly.
you. This podcast is working out for you.
So far, so good.
No, so that's really awesome because I remember when we again first talked to you guys. We were just starting, and even so many things in our lives have changed. So it's been great to see the progress that you guys have made. And how hard was it to transition to all virtual content for like the comedy stuff, right? So did you just guys immediately start brainstorming like, okay, we're going to do story time, we're going to do this live thing, we're going to do because you guys have come out with a lot of stuff.
Yes.
They really have.
It's kind of just like you're saying, just like these ideas. So obviously we're not traveling, we're not doing shows, and we're like, well, we can still continue pushing out content a little more frequently now because our time isn't being taken from traveling. Usually, if we travel, any travel shows, we typically leave on a Thursday and come back on a Monday. So you lose a whole weekend, and then you repeat. So you only have like 3 days to kind of catch up and ship and take care of shipping stuff with Shop Portuguese. But we had a little more time, and then like just ideas. We were going for a ride one day, or we were talking, and Derek had mentioned how there was somebody who's doing story time, and Derek's like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we did like a Portuguese? And then it just kind of stopped, and we're like, bing, like a light. We're like, wow, we could be doing this. Like, yeah, let's do these Portuguese characters reading story time for kids, and that's what it was intended. But we just have a lot of fans who are just tuning in just to have that. It's just a time to get away because everyone's just stuck inside, and they just need a break. They need a break from this, from what's going on.
From reality, a break
from reality for a second, right?
Yeah.
We just, and it's just constant brainstorming of like, hey, I got the sketch idea. Let's try to get this going. And, we've been jumping a lot more on TikTok now because that it's a very popular app. And thank God my daughter, she just keeps me up to date with what's the fad. I'm like, what's this? Okay, let's learn it. Like how do we make it Portuguese?
It has been more difficult though filming because Brian for quite a while we've been doing that social distancing. So like we've got to come up with these really creative methods of filming. Like, okay, we'll go outside, you film in your backyard, I'll film in my backyard. It will look like we're neighbors, Like
right.
so like the last like 5 sketches that we have done separately. We haven't been in the same room together.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of editing and manipulating, and it's taking a lot of creativity on our part
Well,
to
A lot of energy.
Let me tell you, and I think I've said this to you already personally, that I think right now, you are at the height of your creativity, of new creativity coming from. Because I really do, because I see it as, you're creative guys. You can't help it. The two of you can't help it. But you're creating so much more in this short period of time because you have time,
Right.
that it only gets better and better. I think I've seen like that, the neighbors there having the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I saw that and I went, oh my God, this is a hit. It was perfectly done. And now knowing that it was shot from 2 different yards and 2 different places, and coming together, and as well as, the live things that you've been doing and all of that. I mean, it is, I think, again, it is bringing on a new wave of creativity for both of you. And it's because of this time that, we can bitch and moan because, well, we have bitched and moaned, haven't we? And we can bitch and moan about, this time that we've not been able to do the things we wanted to do. But at the same time, we're learning that, there's more. There's more to do, more to create, and still succeed.
Right.
Have you found that other ethnicities have started to really embrace your stuff, because the one that you did about the teaching from home, the social distance learning, I freaking love that one, man. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Like, oh my God. I shared it with a friend of mine who's Venezuelan, and she loved it. Like, because she could totally relate, and because she's from Venezuela, right? So I'm just curious if other ethnicities have.
Yeah, I mean, we try our best. We try our best to keep up with comments. So, like, when a video drops, we try to premiere it. So on Facebook, when you premiere a video, you're watching it live with your fans and interacting with them. So we're live with you, talking and having a conversation when it's premiered. And you do see a lot of comments from people who are like, oh, my parents are this ethnicity and I totally relate. Or you will see like, oh, this is the same with this ethnicity. We're the same way, and we're starting to see a big uptick on that. And it comes down to how we present the material as well, because, we don't want to lose that Portuguese edge. And we try to keep a couple of Portuguese words in there. And we do have fans that, they have voice like, oh, we wish you guys spoke more Portuguese. And we want to, but we have a lot of fans that just don't speak the language.
Yeah.
They don't
I noticed you started including subtitles, like even if you're speaking,
even if it's like a certain word or like a context clue, but like we just want everyone to enjoy this and to get the humor. And there are a lot of ethnicities out there, they don't speak Portuguese, it's all different language, but like they get to see our videos, they get it, that broken English, and they see it and they can relate. And we want everyone to enjoy the laugh with us and come laugh with us, and to see a little bit of that Portuguese flair as well. So we do try to keep some wording in there and whatnot, but
we've befriended some other ethnic comedy acts like Sushi Mango. They're from Australia, and they do a lot of like Italian and Greek humor. And it's like when we first introduced ourselves, like online, it was like looking into a mirror, right? We were like, whoa, like there were so many parallels in our humor. They were like, this is like crazy. Like you're like the American version of us, and we're like the Australian version of you guys. And so we've shared their videos, they've shared our videos, and we share some of the very same fans. So it's pretty cool to have that. And it's fun to have fun too. Like I wish that we did that more, like had fun with other ethnicities, because, growing up, that's all we ever had was other ethnicities in pop culture. So like, it was the Italians and the Greeks that we identified with. But as kind of a little joke that Brian and I, on that one of the videos that we did was tries Portuguese food once, and I had this idea to mock this meme that goes out there, which is like this such and such is better than such and such. Changed my mind when it's a guy with his feet kicked back. So we recreated that meme, and it was Portuguese olive oil is better than Italian.
Yes, I
saw that.
And,
I loved it.
It got like 10,000 likes on Instagram, like one of our top posts ever. And
even Soloyo olive oil reshared it too.
Yeah,
oh, really?
So
nice.
Funny. Yeah.
I gotta say, one of my favorite memes, I don't know if you guys created it, but the one where it's like Portuguese cheese when you smell it, and then you taste it.
When
like,
you taste it,
oh, that was so awesome.
So true.
Not long after that, a friend of mine, she went and bought some Portuguese cheese. She's not Portuguese, and so she sent me a text. She said, "Is Portuguese cheese supposed to smell really bad?" And I said, well, yes, it depends on which kind, but yes. So then I sent her your meme, and she's like, oh, okay. It was really funny.
We actually, our importer got queijo de Serra, which is from, the Serra region in Portugal. Serra de Estrela, thank you. And it's sheep's cheese, but we took a small one for the office just to test it out.
We always test out. You got to test the product.
Got to test out the product, right?
Case,
So we
Except
cracked
the
this
chicken linguiça.
Yeah, right.
We'll be trying to
That's a not yet. It's still gonna happen,
Yeah.
But we cracked open this cheese, and it was like instant. I'm like, whoa! I'm like, this stinks, man. I'm like, it was on my fingers.
It's wrapped.
Oh, good though.
It's wrapped in a cheesecloth,
delicious.
And we put it in the cheesecloth in the trash. The office had a stink, like it was like a cheese locker.
Have to change the old trash. Yeah. That was bad, but man, such good cheese.
Tia Maria's Jessica, her family, her mom and dad is from
they're from Serra de Estrela.
So every time they go there, they come back and they bring a wheel of that cheese.
Yeah.
So when we would go in there, Mr. Coelho would always have, like, he'd see us, he'd run in the back, and he'd come out and he'd bring us a plate of his cheese that he's, it's their cheese. And
it's so
you're
good,
right.
though.
It is so good and creamy. Oh my God. It's so good.
Theirs is very, the whatever kind they carry is super creamy, like butter.
Yeah.
It's almost like brie. It's a brie.
Yes.
Consistency.
It's funny when we started carrying Queijo de São Jorge on Shop Portuguese, we found an importer and again, we like to test things. Me and Derek took a slice home. Like, oh yeah, let's test this. Like usually we'll test it in the office. I'm like, I'm gonna test this at home with my wife. I'll see. I need a bottle of wine while I'm out. And it's like I can buy this anywhere, but it's like,
it's in the office. I feel like I'm going grocery shopping these days in the office. I'm like, let me take one of these.
Yeah.
I know we started carrying linguiça franks. I'm like, do we need hot dogs today? Like, hot dogs? Like, I don't know.
Yes, you do.
They're good with mustard on a hot dog bun. Forget.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic.
You know what's funny? You just reminded me, Maria, when you were talking about that neighbor sketch that me and Derek were filming. We filmed it from our own homes. At one point in that sketch, my character. So the whole point of the sketch, if anyone hasn't seen it, is that they learn different hobbies during quarantine. And one of the hobbies my character learns is doing his own makeup. So I don't know how to do my makeup. I'm dressed up like this Portuguese man, and my wife's doing my makeup on the side of the house, and there are people walking by, people walking dogs, and they're like, what is going on? Like, this guy's eyeliner is on point. Why is this old Portuguese man wearing eyeliner and lipstick? I'm like, hey guys, just don't mind
us. Video. It's a TikTok thing.
Quarantine
I know.
TV.
All you gotta say is it's a TikTok thing. Everything's excused nowadays.
Everything's excused nowadays, yeah.
I gotta say, I don't understand the TikTok thing at all. I haven't even.
It's kind of like it was kind of like a Vine revival. Do you remember the app Vine?
Yeah.
That was like 6 seconds. You had 6 seconds to just make a video. Like there was a time limit. TikTok doesn't have a 6-second limit, but it's kind of like those quick hits. It's like between 15 and 30 seconds is typically a good hit on TikTok, and we try to stay to that. And we just did a compilation video recently, and I was like, man, this kind of just gave us that old school feel, like when we first started, like shit Portuguese people say, it was those quick hits, of different scenarios, and it had TikTok kind of gives us that feeling again, like, oh, here's some quick Portuguese hits that we have going on, along with these longer sketches that we're also putting up. So it's nice, but there's so many fads. Like every month there's a new fad, and I try to keep up with them. So I'll see them, and I'm like, I'll see one. I'm like, okay, I'll take the dance one. I'm like, Derek, you're going to do this 10-finger challenge. I'm going to do this Pavot dance compilation. Like we're just, and it's like trying to keep up. My dance ones are getting better though. I'm not going to lie.
And I will say this, I do agree with you, Brian, that it's like there's such a fad. Like every week there's something new on TikTok, but I know like TikTok does seem like the new social thing, right? But it really, I have not laughed harder in a long time, like watching TikTok. Like TikTok has some of the funniest videos I've ever like just
you
like
gotta scroll through them.
You gotta scroll through a lot of them to get to the good ones. But man, like when you find some of these creators are just hysterical, and like what they can do in 15 seconds or less, man, like you're like literally like tears in your eyes.
There are some good creators on there, but there's a lot of just
funny. A lot of garbage,
people dancing, a lot of garbage, a lot of people dancing, a lot of kids dancing, but like they have their algorithm, so if you like a certain style comedy, you'll see a little more of those, and it's pretty good about that, which is nice. But again, I'm like, I'll sit down with my daughter, I'm like, okay,
now I know you,
what's the dance moves?
I know you guys had mentioned the gentleman, the group out in Australia.
Yep.
Because you had mentioned them to me, and you had shared something, and I went on their page, and I was like, oh my God, they're hysterical. So now they come up, you guys come up in my feed, and they come up in my feed. And yesterday they were, I don't know how they filmed this, but they were fruit vendors.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Fruiters.
And I was laughing my head off, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I could absolutely see the two of you doing the same thing, because it was like our dads, or we would go to the grocery store. If it was a Portuguese market and you would like, pick up something, they would, if you're handling it to, what are you doing? This costs money.
No.
And then, this is bruised. Oh no, this is fine. And they put it back in for sale. It was like, oh my God, this was like, I felt like.
And the best too is like everyone always ate the grapes.
Yes.
I don't care who you were.
Yes.
It was the kids. It was your mom. Everybody. Just one. Just to try it. Everybody would try it. Like it was just like you're supposed to be buying this, not eating it. And here you are, a handful of grapes. Like, that's a nice day at the market today. Womp, womp.
Goes back to us sampling it. You got to sample before you buy, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
That's
I
true.
have to ask a personal question now. Personal time.
I'm still married. Yes.
I know you both are married.
Sorry, ladies.
The question is, because you were always on the road. I mean, that was part of your life. That is part of your life. You know, doing what you do and creating and being out there and traveling all over. And you would have 3 days during the week, if you were lucky, to be home.
Right.
And so with these 3 months that you've been home with your better half, how are they handling this? How are you handling this?
I love it.
Yeah.
I miss traveling. Don't get me wrong. And not because I want to be away from my family. I miss performing. That it's a rush. You know, it's almost like a drug. And you know, there's nothing better than going out there and just making a room full of people laugh. There was just something so like, I don't know, it just like hits you. It hits you like it's just a
Brian, you never did that.
That's the end of this podcast, guys. Thank you. So, you know, I do miss that, but I will say it takes a toll on you, especially like you were saying, like, you know, our travel schedule, you know, on a good month, let's just say in a good month, you do have that 3 days of just being home. But like those 3 days, we're still working because we still have our online store. We still need to create. We still need to get together. We need to, you know, we have an interview. We got this, and then we're back on the road. You know, like I didn't even have a chance to empty out my suitcase. It's been nice.
So many times that has happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm the host now.
I wonder what happened.
Angela.
We lost Angela.
But yeah, you know, it's been nice being home with the family.
Pause that because she's recording it. So
I'm still recording.
Yeah, it's still recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
I have the full power now.
Ooh.
I'm in charge of this. Welcome to Brian. Welcome to Brian's Portuguese table. I have Derek and Maria Lawton here.
Thank you for having me on, Brian.
You're welcome.
Hey, Angela's like, damn it, I forgot to charge my laptop.
Oh no!
No, imagine.
Oh no, she'll come back on. She'll come back on.
But yeah, to finish the question, it's been nice being home and just being able to stop. You know, although we do miss being on the road, it's been nice being home with the family and just having a little more time to just kind of like take on this situation that's going on with COVID together. And growing together, like, you know, like coming up with things to do as a family, like things you know, it's almost like open your eyes, like, man, these are things you should have been doing in general, you know, like maybe taking a step back for yourself.
Oh, definitely. We're all dinging. It's because Angela's trying to get back on. Because I heard my phone ding, I heard your phone, I heard other dings. Is she? Angela, where are you?
We lost Angela.
Angela, we're still on. We are still on. Oh, she just said my internet just dropped.
Oh no!
Damn it!
Well, let her know we're still recording. It says It says I'm the host now because I think I was the second one to jump in.
Oh, I know why. It's because she's recording to the cloud.
Yeah. Now she's back.
She's back.
She's back, and now she's in control.
Welcome back.
I'm on my phone now.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to Brian and Derek's Portuguese table. After you left, we just took over as hosts.
Took over.
We're now their guests.
Yeah.
The recording continued after you left, so nothing has.
Oh,
nothing
that's good. That angle's not going to work. What are we going to do here?
No, we continued with hearing what Brian was saying and how it made,
we talked so bad about you, Angela. That's really what we did.
We did, and how about with you, Derek? How about with you, honey?
I'm with Brian on that one. I think I do miss the road. You know, I just miss my old life a little bit, I think, you know. But at the same time, I really feel like this kind of had to happen because it really let us focus on other stuff that we've been really, really needing to focus on. And I mean, you know, without getting out too much information, we've got new projects on the horizon that we've been working so hard on, and we couldn't do that if we were touring, so it's like finally, like
Yeah.
like this weight lift off. I mean, I missed the shows, I missed the people, but we'll be back, but now we can take our time going back, and at this point I don't think we're doing any shows until 2021.
Definitely.
Absolute
Definitely.
earliest. We're not even thinking, And,
Right.
Actually, I gotta answer somebody back. Someone wants us to do a show in May of 2021. I'm like, yeah, I yes, but I don't know. Like we don't know what the hell's gonna happen right now.
Right.
It just sucks to have all that uncertainty. That's what I don't like. I'm kind of like glad all this happened, but like the going back to normal aspect is just really been, in my opinion, not implemented in the best way, and I feel that you got people that are scared versus people that are not scared, and like all this crap's just going to continue. It just, for me, as an entrepreneur, as a business person, I'm like, ugh, this sucks for our business, because like I can't like in confidence say, hey, come down to a show and like guarantee you that you can't get COVID. I can't do that. So like now I got to space it out, and like now we can't have as many people there. So it just there's a lot. So but all of that aside, with my family, I feel like it's been really, really awesome. I've spent so much time with my mom, my dad, and my dad's sick, so it's just really great to be able to just to dedicate this time to spend with him and appreciate that, because I tell my wife, I'm like, man, I know sometimes we're frustrated, but we're gonna look back on these days and say these were the best days of our lives. I really feel that, it did make me closer to my family. So for that, that's, I can't complain, but I do miss the road. I miss the people, the
seeing
good
those,
times.
the other Portuguese communities. That's a big one for me too. It's just like, you go to like, out to even like California, like we've been there so many times, but it's just nice to see the Portuguese community out there, how things are going, like what's going on, what's the festa, it's just nice to interact and the community.
And just go back to these communities over and over again. Like we're not
you make
like
a lot of friends too when you're out there.
We're not like those acts. We're not like a band. They drop an album, then they tour. Like no, we're like more like Grateful Dead, like more like Fish.
All touring all the time.
We just don't stop touring. Okay, like Willie Nelson, all right, on the road again.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I miss. But
I hear what you're saying, because it's almost like there was an opportunity to, I guess, reconnect and like you said, spend more time with family and kind of start to do things that you had always intended on doing. Mm-hmm. And now it kind of makes you wonder too, like, well, once we're let out of our cages, if you will, what things are we going to maintain that we started to adopt while we were home, right? Because, I will say we, like a lot of people would get so busy on the weekends and we'd be going here, going there, and then we don't have time to do stuff around the house. And we had this long list of things that we always wanted to do. We wanted to go, we wanted to go hiking more. We wanted to do bike riding more, all this kind of stuff. But we always had somewhere to go. And then life just sort of went, no, you have to cancel everything. And now we do go bike riding, and we do, go for walks, and, stuff like that. So I hope that we're able to maintain that and 100%. Not get swept up in all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And and it's all about trying to find the silver lining and the good things out of it, right? Because at least for us, compared to the last 2 years we've had, this is a cakewalk, right? So if this is this year, then we're okay.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been I've been finding myself like, obviously everyone just has projects to do around the house, and like I just been finding that you find the time to do it now. You like everything just kind of fits in, and I'm like, man, like I was saying it before when you got knocked off. It's like it's opened my eyes to the fact that like I've always had this time to do it. I just wasn't organizing my time appropriately or accordingly. So like now I'm doing these things, and me and my wife are out there. We fixed the garden in the backyard. We're doing this now. I was like, wow, why weren't we doing this before? Like we had the time. It was just it took this pandemic, unfortunately, to open your eyes, be like, hey, like there's time to be spent with your family. You have the time to do it. And,
spend like too much time at the mall. That's the problem, Brian.
I'm a mall rat. Leave me alone.
Mall rat.
You don't know me.
Lessons
Orange
learned.
Julius is lesson learned. There you go.
It's lessons learned. Yeah, it's lessons learned that we can't forget. And how does your wives feel about everything? They must be loving it as well.
I sleep outside. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. They love it. I mean, dude, my wife's like, "Wow, you're doing all this work." I'm like, "I built a fence, right? Like a really nice wood fence." And my wife's like, "See, I knew you could do it." I was like, "Yeah, I knew I could do it too. I didn't wanna."
And
desire was a huge factor in this whole situation.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah,
But now it's like, man, I got nothing else to do. I was like, now you got no excuse, you know? Like,
no excuse.
You're
Well,
not
now she's
touring
got a whole
anymore,
list of
dude.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, you can build a fence. Oh, you could
Yeah.
do this. You could do that.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Seriously, yesterday.
It keeps building.
Yeah. Dude, hey, I'm looking up videos on like cement. I'm like, I want to make a cement table fire pit, like propane fire pit. I'm like, I'm going to do it. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm Portuguese, dude. Hey, I'm Portuguese, bro. Like this stuff, I was born this like skill.
Hey, last week I had
2
to
YouTube
go up.
videos later.
Last week I had to go up on the roof, and we did the shingles on the roof. Me and my wife's uncle. We're like, okay, I've never done that before, but let's do it. I was shitting myself up there because I don't like heights, but I learned a new thing. I learned a new thing. You know, like it's
Very nice.
Yeah, and you're learning too. I'm power washing the house this weekend, and I was like, I should have wore pants. Things you learn. My neighbor's like, you wearing flip flops? I'm like, yeah, I'm an idiot.
A couple of times a year here at the house, we used to have this gentleman called, oh my God, Stuart de Mel.
Stuart de Mel.
So
I like him already.
Stuart de Mel would come twice a year, do the cleaning of the beds, rake, the whole thing. Stuart de Mel would come in and do these things. Well, Stuart de Mel retired.
Oh, no.
And so there is no Stuart de Mel anymore. He went to Florida. So now we're trying to find like somebody else to come in and do something, but no one can compare to Stuart de Mel. I'm sorry, there isn't.
Yep.
And so, but Stuart de Mel always would say something like, I'd say, oh, Stuart de Mel, I'd love this, this, and this. But Bob says, I don't think this would work. He goes, Portuguese power. We can do anything. So every once in a while, I'll say to Bob, Monsieur de Mel, Portuguese power.
He probably like came. He had his shirt off. He had his like shirt off. All his hair sweating, working like a Portuguese guy out there. Just like that's
Hey.
let him be.
Dude, Portuguese people can grow lemon trees in New England, so I'm pretty sure they can grow anything. I've seen it.
Yes.
That's so true.
It is so true. I've seen lemon trees in Fall River.
Lemon, orange trees, the whole 9 yards.
And they put them in the house for wintertime, you know.
Yeah.
Hey.
Californians you guys take that for granted out there in San Jose.
Do you remember we did a show out in California, Derek? Do you remember that? I think it was with the wedding cast. And there were like all these orange trees along the wall. And like the wedding cast was just standing out there like, whoa. Like just like, like orange trees, guys. I'm like, I know. It's like that No Doubt
so
cover.
surreal, right? And like I remember one of them picked the orange off the tree. And I was like, dude. And I'm like, in California, the oranges grow on orange trees.
You believe it.
Not at the supermarket.
Not at Stop and Shop.
I was like Aladdin. I can show you the world.
Oh my God.
But it's wild.
It is wild.
So speaking of California, I want to know the first time that you guys drove from, I don't know, their northernmost point down to like San Diego.
Oh.
So were you like
the northernmost?
What?
Yeah, the northernmost point was Arcata, and I think we drove from Arcata to, if I'm not mistaken, we drove to Modesto, which is about 7 hours.
Okay.
But the night before
and that's
that,
only halfway through the state.
Yeah,
I know,
the night before we drove up.
The night before that, we drove up 5 hours from another city.
Yeah, actually, we went to. You know what's funny? We went to that. We went to the redwood, and there was that tree that you could drive through. I guess it got knocked down though, right?
Yes, it did.
Unfortunately,
that's a shame. But that's my favorite. Like to me, one of the most beautiful parts of the country is that Northern California part. But we also did drive from San Francisco to San Diego, and that was like, I'm sorry, we actually did the opposite. San Diego up to San Jose, and that was like
a beautiful drive too.
It was, but it was 8 hours. It's like an 8-hour drive, man.
We drove to Idaho too, didn't we? From California.
We did.
One of the trips you did, I remember.
We did.
We went from sun to snow.
Yeah,
Mhm,
literally.
mhm.
And that was
I
like
just-
real West.
Yeah, it is. It's just always funny to me because like we'll have family come out and visit and they want to go to, LA for the day. And I'm like, doesn't work that way.
That is so
or
funny.
we'll be driving and they're like, so are we going to be there soon? I'm like, we got like another 4 hours. What do you
Right.
want? You know?
Yeah.
It's,
I remember
That's
that
the
was
thing,
like
too.
that was like me first going to California. I was like, where are all the
Mhm.
beaches and surfing? Like we're in Turlock. Like that's not smells like cows.
yeah.
Yeah. Definitely no beaches out in
No
Turlock.
beaches.
Good people.
Good
no
people.
beaches. No beaches. Dude, that's too funny though, because that was when we first started going there, we would actually meet people that did drive a few hours to see us, like to see a show.
Mhm.
And we were like, dude, that's just so wild to us. Like I wouldn't drive an hour to see Coldplay, and dude, I'm like, you drove 2 hours? They're like, oh, 2 hours in California is like 15 minutes to
Yeah.
guys in New England. And it really, that is 100% like so accurately like described because the state is just huge. It's just
Yeah.
never ending.
So is there anywhere you guys haven't gone that you want to go?
The UK.
You can
A lot of Portuguese fans
okay.
out there.
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Hawaii to perform.
Yeah.
That's a
South
good one.
Africa, Johannesburg.
Africa.
We have a lot of people from Johannesburg that
Cape Town.
have been messaging us.
Yeah,
Cape Town as well.
Cape Town
Yeah.
too. Yep. So those are the places right there.
Those three. Madeira.
Oh.
I'd love to get there. That's on our bucket list. Actually, we're supposed to be going there in October.
Supposed to be going there this October. We're starting vacation, so we're hoping that's still on.
But that all depends
still
on
on.
what's
It's
it's
still
still on. But it all depends on what kind of restrictions are in place.
Well, they're letting people go in, so I would love to actually. I almost feel like just so I can say that I experienced a vacation during this thing, just so I could say like, whoa, like everything's gonna be changed. I just want to see how it's gonna be. You're gonna have masks on the whole time, probably.
Right. We were super fortunate too because in February we did a cruise. We were on a cruise.
That's right. You
And
did.
this was kind of breaking out. The COVID was, it didn't really hit the U.S. as hard.
Yeah.
But we were really nervous. We're on a boat full of people.
If it was
They
a
were,
week later, we probably
Yeah.
wouldn't have gone. And
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
on that trip, they were like, it was the Portuguese kids cruise, and on that trip, they were like sanitizer everywhere. There was a guy singing a guitar, playing a guitar, like telling you to put your. He was making songs up just to, like, it was a huge
Remind
thing.
people to wash their hands.
And I was like, we were like, all right, guys, come on. And then like a week later, we're like, whoa, this is about to blow up all
That's
over
right.
the place. And then of course March happened. So it was interesting. But I'm like, man, knock on wood. I'm like, wow, I can't believe we barely made that trip happen. But I'm so glad that we did because it was
that was timing. It was the timing.
Yeah, it was all timing. Absolutely. Are we losing?
I just
you?
I just
Switching up the heads.
my headphones weren't connecting, so I brought in this. It's just got to
A lot of tech
troubleshoot.
problems. A lot of tech
I
problems.
do.
Don't worry
We do.
about it. You roll the punches. That's all.
That's right.
We do.
we
I really
go.
have to. You should see me. So I've got, if I'm at the kitchen table, so I got the laptop, I got my iPad, I got my phone, and sometimes the recording thing won't work. So I've got my phone recording the call, and then I'm, trying to, answer questions here, and it's just like it's crazy. And then I was telling Maria, I manage 3 different Zoom accounts for different clients, and then I've got like 8 emails. So it's just
man.
there's a lot to manage. So,
Non-stop.
and a couple times last week I emailed. So 2 of my clients both have the name Jim, and one's got a Ty, and then the other one's got a Tyler. And I emailed like the wrong thing, and they're like
my.
the cement for the. Sorry. Oops.
Mistakes happen.
They're all good. They're
The
all
wrong,
good.
the
They're
wrong
all
guy
good
shows
people.
up to the Zoom meeting. He's like,
Wait a minute.
what the hell?
I know,
What's
right?
on here?
This isn't nude anonymous.
There's no anonymous.
So do you guys think that you'll continue with like the story time and some of the other live stuff even once you can start touring again?
It all depends. Well, yeah, unless we have a weekend off, because we do our readings on Fridays. Like
Yeah.
Fridays are typically when we're
It would-
traveling.
it-
We'd have to shift it.
Yeah.
It would probably be like a
realistically-
Wednesday night, maybe.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of time. We just have to shift it
It
around.
really doesn't. It just has to shift another day. Yeah.
One thing we are working on, though, we're going to do a Real Portuguese Housewives naughty reading. So it's going to be a late night housewives reading some naughty books. And
Oh my
not for
God.
kids. Not for
That's
kids.
right.
Okay, so I have a
50
book for you.
Shades.
I have a book for you.
Okay.
It's called Beverly's Beaver Needs a Haircut.
We actually
Oh my
bought
God.
it. We got it.
Something like that.
It's
It
it's
is hilarious.
we had
Yes.
we couldn't
There's-
find the book. It sold out everywhere. It
We
was
had to
like
get a
so
PDF.
hard. We
Yeah.
had to buy a PDF version, but we're gonna read that.
There's another one too. Something about Tony and his large nuts or something like that too.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
we're gonna have that covered. We're gonna have that
Yeah,
covered. For
we're gonna
the-
have
for
a
the
good time
library.
with that one.
Housewives reading naughty books late night, so it's gonna be adults only. You know, so
Adults
no
only.
Yes.
children.
Yeah.
So like 11 o'clock at night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put
That
the
should be
kiddies
Very nice.
to
I thought you were
yeah.
going to tell me that the Portuguese housewives are going to get back together. But
This is good. This is as good as it gets.
As
for
good
now.
as it gets
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah.
We actually
Yeah,
had a real Portuguese Housewives show booked during this COVID, and we had to cancel that. It was too bad. We had like a packed house. It was like 400 people in London. Too bad.
Yeah.
In Ontario. Yep.
We're already in June. It seems like
Shame.
that show was like last week or something, but it was not.
It was,
You know,
it was a while ago.
crazy.
Crazy.
Do you guys
what we
realize
discussed.
that, like, you know, depending on how long this shelter in place lasts, we will have spent more time in our houses this year than out of
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
our houses?
It's crazy.
Yes.
That's insane,
It is.
right?
It is.
Yes, it is.
I tell you though, financially, like I'm spending.
Oh, it's- yeah.
less and,
Way,
you know,
way
I
less.
I feel that we're cooking more at home, less eating out. You know, I think there's a lot of positives to this too. You know, a lot of
Mhm.
negatives. 100%. You know, the death toll is, it's scary. You know, it's awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, everybody knows somebody.
Mhm.
So it is. But if we are looking for the positives, there are quite a few. You know,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
happy
you know-
about a few things at least.
I think we're coming into an hour here, folks. And we had talked about doing this. We said, "Oh no, I won't take an hour. We're not going to
Wait.
take an hour out of your time."
We talk too
Portuguese.
much. That's what our problem is Brian and I are just chatty Cathy's.
Why do we ever pretend like we have
Why?
not enough
Why?
to say?
Right.
Exactly. Why do we do that? Why do we
Portuguese
do
I
that?
don't
thing.
know.
You want to
Yeah.
sound formal, like, oh, I don't want to take up too much time. Much.
It's like
Oh,
that skit you guys have, like you're trying to say goodbye, and then an hour later you're still trying
It's
to say
something
goodbye.
else. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just that's how it happens. One last
Yeah.
thing. One last
Do you
thought.
guys? Do you guys do that, and then at some point you just have to hang up on the person because they're just like, bye.
We do
bye."
that. We do
We
that
do
every
that
week
now.
on our live thing. I'm like, all right, Brian. Go, oh wait, one more thing, and I'm like, damn, dude. I'm like,
my
okay,
God.
we can't
Yeah.
stop.
And then it's like, okay, we're done. And then one more thing pops up, and then you just get caught in that conversation. And it's like the Portuguese long goodbyes. It's a real
But
thing.
how many times, like usually I'll wrap things up before doing like a show. I'll wrap things up with the organizer and settle up the money stuff, and the guys will break everything down. Right, and like so many times they've been just like waiting in the van, like let's go. And I'm like, dude, I can't help it. These people, they won't stop talking. I'm like, it's just. We're there. And next thing you know, I'm drinking. I'm like, guys, come back in. The bar's opening up for us again. I'm sorry. Gotta get drunk with these people.
It's like 3 a.m.
3 a.m. Come on.
It,
The club
sucks
is
to be
back in
loved.
business. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you see that in the Azores in Portugal, the bars are closing at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
11 o'clock. I said to Bob, oh my God, 2 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning, no problem. Everything was still going on and all that. 11.
4. When Brian and I were there in San Miguel, we've been up there till 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my God. We finished like at some bar, and we went right to the padaria that opened up, and like
Oh!
Fresh
everything was
bread.
fresh. Oh Lord.
Oh,
that
that's
sobered
the
me
good
up
one.
quick.
With the chocolate milk.
I've been
the
on that
Azores.
line. I've been
Yeah.
in that line waiting.
It's right in that little square in Punta Delgado. So good. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Can't wait to get back down there, huh? Good
I
old
know.
It'll
Azores.
happen. It'll happen
It
again.
will. It will.
It will.
Yeah, you guys are going to do another trip, right?
Yeah. Actually, this October is the trip we're
If
planning
that
with
happens.
Bedeta and San Miguel. But even then, like we were actually planning. Brian and I had been planning this for quite a while, which we had to, obviously we're gonna have to revisit that. But Brian and I were planning on going to San Miguel in July and spending the whole month out there and just
Doing a
With the
weekly
family.
Yeah, and then actually just doing some shows out there too. But unfortunately, can't control things, certain things. So
2021.
You know what? Hey,
2021,
it's still there. It's always going to be there, and we just got to work on the next time. That's all.
That's right. 2021. You got it.
Yep. Well, we absolutely love you guys, and I'm so happy to see you guys doing so well. And it's heartwarming to see you guys have grown and really just
very proud of
doing well.
Angela.
I've always said that. I'm very proud of the two of you. So proud.
And it's crazy because sometimes we sit back and reflect on our journey and how we've grown and we've changed. Obviously, we started with 4 and then we dropped to 2. Now we're with 3. Now with Vanessa Medeiros, who couldn't be in here, but she's in the group and performing on stage. And it's just it's crazy how just you keep evolving and things change, but our main focus is always still there about promoting the Portuguese culture the best we can.
Yeah. Right.
And how it's morphed with now Shop Portuguese. And it's we really want to get that out there, jump on board with the Portuguese thing,
product.
lifestyle,
Yes.
Can I also say thanks for not turning into jerks?
Yeah.
Thanks for just staying who you are.
No comment. I'm still considered a jerk by many.
No, you're not.
Well,
y'all don't know.
Not the side I know.
Wait till you guys see the Tiger King version of the Portuguese Kids document.
The Vaca King?
I always knew he was a Diob, the Derek the Mello story.
Carol Basqueta.
Well, we haven't seen that side of you guys. I still think you guys are super nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
Yeah.
We're humble.
And thank you for always being there for us.
Yeah, seriously.
Of course.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It means a lot
All
to
right,
us.
guys. Well, as we say on the show, até a próxima.
Okay, até a próxima.
Let's see how long this takes to log off now. Start the timer now, guys. Start the timer. Portuguese long goodbyes.
All right, guys.
Everyone
Have a
stay
good
safe
one.
and healthy.
You
Bye
too,
bye.
Maria. Bye.
Wash your
Stay safe.
hands. Flatten church.
Ciao.